Welcome to the Chick-fil-A Eufaula Coaches Show. Coach Jernigan will be here momentarily, but in the meantime, Doug Applin and myself, Keith Bryan, will kind of preview the 2023 season. Hard to believe football is already here, Doug. As hot as it is, we've got heat advisories all week. But tomorrow night, the Tigers kick it off at Enterprise. The first of two 7A opponents on the Tigers' schedule this year. Of course, Tigers a tough schedule. Let's go talk about that with Coach Jernigan when he gets here. But two 7A schools, two 6A opponents as well, and finish up the year with Early County coming to Eufaula is always a tough game or rivalry. It's developed into a rivalry game between Early County and Eufaula. But first of all, Enterprise tomorrow night, and the Tigers have played Enterprise more than I realized when I was looking at the series, getting ready for this week. This will actually be the 25th meeting between Eufaula and Enterprise, which is surprising. But most of those games took place many years ago. The first of which actually started back in the 1920s. So, like almost 100 years ago, the first time that Eufaula and Enterprise played, and most of those games did take place back then, like in the 50s. But Eufaula has not beaten Enterprise. They're 0 for the last 15. So it's much larger school, 7A opponent. Eufaula comes in 5A. Eufaula, going to be breaking in a new quarterback this year. So we'll have to talk about all that with Coach Jernigan when he gets here. But in the meantime, I know you and Charles made it up to Montgomery a week or so ago for the media days and several new rule changes, I guess, for the 2023 football season.
Yeah, in football, I'm trying to remember. I know the offensive line holding is now going to be marked off from the line of scrimmage. It's not a spot foul anymore. That was a big one. Quarterback used to not hit below the knees. Now it's below the waist, so that's going to be a touchy situation there. And it's a judgment call by the officials on like a receiver going across the middle or somebody on a punt return or something like that. If you get blindsided or whatever, an unsportsmanlike conduct call is judgment of the official now. So that's probably going to nullify a lot of big plays for a lot of people as time goes on this year. A couple of things in baseball was rule changes was I think this is the first year they're going to allow the earpiece for the catcher in boys baseball. Not in girls softball, but in boys baseball they're going to allow that, and it'll be the first year for that. It seemed like there was another one I can't remember off the top of my head, and I didn't bring my notes tonight. I thought Jarrell would be here. So,
but talk about some of those rule changes. First of all, baseball. We'll hit on that real quick. I don't understand why they do it for baseball, but not for softball. I don't see what the difference is.
But there was a couple of discussions. Why softball? I mean, they said you have to petition the board, and it was done for baseball and not softball. Another interesting one, they allow this year girls to wear jewelry in girls softball. The boys still cannot wear any kind of sleeve or earring or whatever they wear. So it's a couple of black and white, different sports there, different things. I'm sure it'll all sort out in the end. Girls flag football, and I think it was girls wrestling, is now a sanctioned sport. So it will be every year. If any school wants to be in, there's enough schools signed up for it. I remember talking about that. And I'm trying, Charles, did I miss anything?
I think you pretty much covered it all.
Well, go back to the football rule changes. A couple of things that stood out to me. I think the holding from line of scrimmage is fair because it was always kind of arbitrary. Did they throw the flag in the right place? Nobody exactly knew where it took place. So sometimes we'd see some discrepancies that we thought may have been honest mistakes, but it seemed like we'd end up with a 19-yard holding penalty or something like that. And
some folks don't realize, but when you got a quarterback that scrambles or makes somebody miss and it goes deeper, he may be 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage where the holding takes place, and then it was 10 yards from there.
Right.
So it could turn out to be a 30 or more yard penalty sometimes, and it would kill a drive.
That's right. And so, so that from line of scrimmage, I think that's good. That's fair. That's fair for everybody. It's going to be administered, the same every time they throw the flag for holding. But the two things that stood out was the not hitting the quarterback below the waist. I mean, that's going to be tough. I mean, if you're blitzing the quarterback, you stumble or whatever else.
Yeah.
Even a form tackle was hitting somebody right in the midsection. Put your shoulder pad.
Well, a lot of people have talked about it, and I hate to say it, but me, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. But the last few years, it's gone from not hitting below the knees, don't hit a defenseless player, no hitting below the waist. It's going to turn into flag football sooner or later if we don't watch out.
Interesting that you said that, because I was someone I'm close to it's made that same statement recently that by the time their child, who is just starting school, gets to high school, they won't be tackle football. So it just seems like that's the way it's going, and it's all about safety, and I understand that. But
well, one of the hardest things, and I didn't think it would ever happen, was to get used to hitting with your face mask and not lowering your head. I never thought that would actually work out for everybody, but it has seemed to. You don't see it called every other play now. So I mean, hats off to the coaches who's got to teach that, because I would not want to have to teach it, but it seems to have worked, and I'm sure it helps keep them from lowering their heads. So
that's right. See what you hit. So and the other thing was the unnecessary roughness, I guess, hitting the defenseless receiver. That's going to be a judgment call.
Don't be surprised if a lot of teams, in a big play situation, you're going to see that called, and in areas where you don't want to call it. If it's a judgment call, it's going to happen. So, but then again, and actually, they talked about officials this year at the media thing, and I think it was the Southeast and maybe the Northwest, Northeast, one of the two, that were still short on officials. But everywhere else in the state of Alabama, they had recruited enough, and they were in pretty good shape on officials. But our area is still a little behind. So I tell you, while we're waiting here, make sure we get the bugs worked out and everything. Let's take our first commercial breaks, and we'll be back after this commercial break.
Hey, Tiger fans, Daniel Pulley here, your local Chick-fil-A Eufaula owner-operator. We are so excited to be the official sponsor of the weekly Eufaula Tiger Coaches Show for the 2022 football season. Join us for the live show at Chick-fil-A Eufaula every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Our incredible team is ready to serve you. And don't forget, eat more chicken.
Precision Body Works is a state-of-the-art collision facility dedicated to providing customers with outstanding service and a quality repair experience. We have been serving Eufaula and the surrounding areas for over 20 years and have earned a reputation as being a premier collision repair center. Precision Body Works uses environmentally friendly PPG water-based paint and also offers 24-hour record service as well as top-of-the-line accessories from such brands as Cam Locker, Ranch Hand, Retrax, Weston, and WeatherTech. We are located at 1210 North Eufaula Avenue, or call us at 334-687-4700.
Somebody cannot come to us, we go to them. It's something that we do on a regular basis, something we don't mind doing, and we work on a contingency basis.
No one has to pay us any money up front.
They do not have to pay us unless we collect for them. Unless we are successful in resolving their case through a settlement or through trial.
They don't have to pay us any money unless we get favorable results for them. If you're hurt in a car wreck, call Penn and Seaborn. It won't cost you anything to see if we can help.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Easy Metal Building Kits, pole barns, and metal roofing supplies. APEC Metal Express carries multiple kit sizes and colors with at-home DIY instruction. APEC Metal Express. Fast delivery, superior quality, excellent customer service.
The family at Impressive Collision Center has been in business since 1940.
That's impressive.
Your transportation is one of the largest investments you have, so keep it looking new at Impressive. From a major crash to a small dent, Impressive can help.
Now Impressive.
They work closely with all insurance companies and give you a great price on your minor mishaps.
Wow, impressive.
And don't forget to check out all the accessories from install winches, brush guards, and bed covers.
Impressive. Give them a call. Impressive Collision Center, 317 South Eufaula Avenue, 334-687-4400.
Does your IT infrastructure or computer equipment have you sidelined? Don't throw in the towel yet. Call Chris Works at Works Consulting at 334-695-2820. Benny Whitehead Incorporated has called Eufaula home since 1965. Today, the family-owned business owns and operates 119 tractors and trailers and employs over 150 people. Benny Whitehead is nationally known as a leader in safety and keeping the air clean and fuel consumption low. Benny Whitehead Incorporated loves Eufaula and would like to wish Lakeside and Eufaula safe and successful seasons.
With the world changing all around us, everyone needs to be covered by insurance. So give Eric Glover with the Glover Agency a call and talk with Eric about auto, home, life, or last week's football game. Whatever your insurance needs, let Eric talk to you about being covered. The Glover Agency is located at 145 East Broad Street, Eufaula, Alabama. Call 334-687-0358.
When it's football time, we at First Franklin Financial are big fans of our local teams, just like you. We've been part of the community for over 75 years, and when you need money for repairs or emergencies, we'll help you play offense. We offer fixed-rate loans up to $15,000 with easy payment plans and fast approvals. Visit 1ffc.com to find the location near you. Legal, all loan terms and applicable APRs depend on meeting our underwriting and income criteria for the loan size requested and may require collateral. Georgia Residential Mortgage License number 5656.
In 1983, the first mobile phone was introduced to the public by the Motorola Company, and that was the same year Pam Freeman started her State Farm business. For 40 years, both have saved time and money. Whether it's auto, homeowners, condo renters, personal articles, business, life, or health, Pam Freeman State Farm has been there for you. Call Pam's office and let Kathy Bennett help you with all your quotes and needs. You won't find a more helpful staff anywhere. Come by and see them at 322 East Barber Street in Eufaula or call 687-7034.
At Mid-South Bank, we pride ourselves on being the friendliest and most helpful bank in town. For over 100 years, we've been helping families prosper and helping businesses grow. Mid-South Bank is a local bank with local people making local decisions. We're a community bank who will always be there when you need us. Whatever banking services you need, we're here to help. Visit us today or online at bankmidsouth.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
We're back with the Chick-fil-A Eufaula Coaches Show, live from Chick-fil-A in Eufaula. We'll be here with you every Thursday night, 6 o'clock before every Tiger home game this season. Of course, the Tigers open tomorrow night, 7 o'clock kickoff from about to be Bill Bacon Field, I guess, our stadium. And Enterprise, they're actually naming the stadium tomorrow night in honor of the coach that won a couple of state championships down there. And, talking about that, I didn't intend to go here. I just thought about it. Two state championships won by Bacon back in the 70s, 80s time period. There was a coach here in Eufaula that won a couple of state championships during that same period of time. And it'd be nice, just a thought. I know there was some maybe 3 or 4 or 5 years ago about naming the field at Tiger Stadium in honor of the coach that won a couple of state championships here. I think these guys I'm sitting here looking at around the table here played for that coach as well as did I. So, I mean, it'd be a nice sentiment since they're doing it down there a long time after the fact. But anyway, talking about this show, and we appreciate the opportunity to bring it to you, and we appreciate everyone listening to us tonight. But it would be possible without the sponsors that make it possible. We appreciate Daniel Pulley and Chick-fil-A here for opening up the doors and providing the space for us to do this. And appreciate the other sponsors. Mid-South Bank's a new sponsor this year for us, and
We have Doug, 4 new sponsors. Mid-South Bank is one of them. Richard Wingate, CPA, the Clayton Record, and State Farm. Pam Freeman, State Farm agent, are all new ones. And while we got a minute while we're waiting on Jarrell, talk about Mid-South Bank. Mid-South Bank and Eufaula Tiger football broadcast teaming up. You can win $100 each week. Somebody could be a lucky winner. The way we're going to do it is when we sign on tomorrow night, and we'll go over this again tomorrow night. But you got to, if we receive the first kickoff to start the game, you got to be quick. But as it goes along during the year, it'll be easy. You go on Facebook. We prefer for you to like the page, but you go on and under comments, it'll have your name, of course, if you're signed in under Facebook, and you comment Mid-South Bank and under our comments. And when you comment Mid-South Bank, you are in the drawing. So when Eufaula receives an opening half kickoff, whether it's first half or the second half, we're gonna get one of them. But if it's returned for a touchdown, everybody that was eligible that night that had their name under the comments before it happened will be in drawing for a $100 bill from Mid-South Bank.
Well, that's great. This is a nice little change. It'll cause people to pay a little more attention. Sometimes we have an audience that comes and goes, so maybe they'll be a little more attentive when there's money on the line. I know that makes a difference in your golf game when there's money on the line.
Makes me worse. I can't stand the pressure, I guess. But we appreciate them doing that, and we appreciate the new sponsors along with the sponsors we have. We got a great group of sponsors that are with us every year, and we appreciate that.
And of course, one thing that changed last year as it relates to our broadcast, for so many years it was audio only. On the radio station, we started broadcasting to the Eufaula Tiger football page on Facebook. Is this the 3rd or 4th year? I'm not sure, but then we've also had the Eufaula Tiger football page on YouTube that you can watch, and you'll be able to watch the games as well as listen to them again this year.
You were actually inspirational about the YouTube. I was not sold on the YouTube part, and they're actually archived on YouTube. So, they're on Facebook and things like that, but I don't think they're on there forever because of space. But on YouTube, you go back and watch them. 20 years from now, you can go back, pull it up, and watch it. But one thing that really surprised me last year is how many people would come up to you and say, "Hey, we can watch YouTube on our TV at home, and we just pull the game up and watch the game." That's been great. You got NFHS also. That's why we're able to do it. We bring in NFHS. If you're an NFHS subscriber, you can watch it that way. A lot of people, you would be surprised. The Facebook stuff gives us a breakdown. For instance, we had last year, there was the first 28 days of the season from the time it started. We had over 31,000 views in a 28-day period that clicked on and stayed on a certain amount of time. I don't know how that works, but when you get to look, and of course, a majority of them are Montgomery, Troy, Dothan, Columbus, Eufaula, Clayton, that general area, and then it spreads out. But we had folks from, I think it was 5 different countries consistently last year, and all over the country. I guess alumni and everybody else that actually tunes in, and that's because of the sponsors we have. We're able to do that, and we appreciate it.
Got a question. Are we going to discuss tickets, or are we going to wait till the coach gets here?
Well, if we want the absolute correct answer, we might should wait till the coach gets here.
Someone has asked a question.
As far as we know, it'll be handled on GoFan as it was last year and the year before that. A digital ticket.
Your guess is as good as mine.
But we don't know the absolute correct answer to that. So we'll defer to Coach Jernigan for the correct answer to that. But my understanding was that everyone had gone to GoFan. They're not having to print tickets. It's digital. I'm sure GoFan takes a percentage, but I would think it would be a lot easier for them to keep track of how many tickets were sold and track the money as well.
Well, we're waiting on Jarrell to get here. A lot of things going on tonight. They actually have the senior dinner tonight, and I'm sure that's got him tied up a little bit. But you talked to him earlier, and he gave you a thumbs up that he was going to be here. So I'm sure he's on his way and will be here momentarily. As far as the schedule, I'll go back to the schedule a bit. We talked about opening with Enterprise, and that's going to be the way that came about this year. Troy didn't have, and here's another thing going into the schedule to talk about that I didn't realize until I was looking at some stuff the last couple of days. Last year we didn't have that first game. We had a jamboree. We had 9 games, but because when Coach Ricky was here, they had scheduled Pensacola, I think it was, and something happened to the contracts. Anyway, it fell through, so we didn't have a first game last year. And well, Enterprise needed a first game, and they said, "Hey, we'll pay you expenses to come down here and play us." So that's how we got that first game lined up there. I noticed this year, if you remember, or you can look back, we talked about it last year. Charles Henderson, went to the state championship game, lost to, I think it was Ramsey. Maybe.
Ramsey, yeah.
Had a great running back. That running back is back.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Henderson's got practically everybody back. They're going to be tough in our region again this year. We got to go over there and play them this year. But they opened up last year. I think it was the first 6 games were at home before they ever had to hit the road. Actually, I think the first game they had on the road was probably with us.
It was, yeah, if I remember correctly, that was right.
And so I noticed this year, I thought, wow, they're gonna have to reverse that this year. But they actually picked up a game. They used to play each other a lot, but Pike County,
Mm-hmm.
right there together, and that was always a big rivalry. They didn't play last year, but they picked it up for this year, and it's going to be held at Troy. So Troy will open with Pike County, but then they'll have, I think it's 5 or 6, I think it's 6 road games, and then we'll come calling. So
how about that? So that'll be a big night for them being back at home.
That'll be October the 13th. That'll be Friday the 13th, I think, isn't it?
You are absolutely correct. It's October 13th. So, but yeah, that's what a tough schedule. Open at 7A Enterprise. Then the next week, the first 2 games Eufaula's on the road. Go to Stanhope Elmore the next week, 6A opponent. Stanhope and Eufaula played some very exciting games over the years. Then home to Headland, home to Greenville. Then on the road at 6A Pike Road. New coach at Pike Road this year. Always good athletes. Then back home and Eufaula for 7A Pell City. And of course, that game, for people that may not know, Rush Probst, head coach of the Tigers back from 93 to 96, will make his return to Eufaula as a coach on the opposing sideline. So Rush Probst is the new coach at Pell City, and they will be playing in Eufaula on September 29th, the second 7A opponent. So if you look at it, 4 of the first 6 games on the year for Eufaula are playing above class. You're playing 2 6A, 2 7A, and good teams as well. So tough schedule. Then home, then at Carroll, at Charles Henderson, at Rehoboth. 3 straight road games for Eufaula, and they finish at home with Early County. But looking at the schedule, there's only 4 home games during the regular season this year for Eufaula.
Yeah, that's a disadvantage for us, but we'll see what we can do about it. Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back and talk about our region a little more in depth after this commercial break.
Hey, Tiger fans, Daniel Pulley here, your local Chick-fil-A Eufaula owner-operator. We are so excited to be the official sponsor of the weekly Eufaula Tiger Coaches Show for the 2022 football season. Join us for the live show at Chick-fil-A Eufaula every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Our incredible team is ready to serve you. And don't forget, eat more chicken.
Of all the improvements you can make to your home, it could be the most important is not seen or heard, only felt. The ultra-quiet, energy-efficient Carrier Infinity Home Comfort System provides premium comfort with a whole home air purifier that gives you confidence you're breathing healthier air. It's an essential part of any healthy home.
By the way,
In sports, every point counts, and at Alpha Insurance, we know when it comes to your budget, every dollar counts. That's why we work to get you the lowest rates and best discounts available. Plus, every Alpha policy comes with personal service from our hometown team. Call Alpha to start saving today. In Eufaula, call Alpha agent Keith Bryan at 334-687-8268 or stop by our office at 1326A South Eufaula Avenue.
In 1983, the first mobile phone was introduced to the public by the Motorola Company, and that was the same year Pam Freeman started her State Farm business. For 40 years, both have saved time and money. Whether it's auto, homeowners, condo renters, personal articles, business, life, or health, Pam Freeman State Farm has been there for you. Call Pam's office and let Kathy Bennett help you with all your quotes and needs. You won't find a more helpful staff anywhere. Come by and see them at 322 East Barber Street in Eufaula or call 687-7034.
Welcome back to the Chick-fil-A of Eufaula Coaches Show. Coach Jernigan will be with us momentarily. He is on the way. As Doug mentioned earlier, a lot of things going on tonight. Of course, first game tomorrow night. Senior supper was tonight. That's a tradition that goes back over 40 years.
I'm glad to see it. There's a few things I'd really love to see come back. Jarrell's doing a good job with a lot of that stuff, and I'm sorry we had a little bit of
Technical difficulty.
Actually, this is probably the first year we hadn't had major. I know, but actually we had something that wasn't plugged in all the way over there.
Thanks
so hopefully that worked it out. It's kind of hard to work on it from this side of the camera. So
thanks for that fine crew you have.
But yes, first game, first week, and opening up with Enterprise too. That's going to be tough, but. Just so much to prepare for, and it's a road game. That first week, road game. You got how many times is he going to get down there and somebody's going to be, Coach, I don't have my thigh pads, or I left my cleats, or somebody didn't bring the helmet, or I don't know how they go through all that, but that is just something he shouldn't have to deal with. But Jarrell is hands on. He's going to make sure that his involved in a lot of that stuff. So
yeah, I would imagine so. I don't know if they do it now. I don't know if they have equipment managers or whatever that probably are assigned that kind of thing now. But I know back when we played, you packed your own bag, so it was easy. You could leave something out, and that always seemed like it happened, especially early in the year. But yeah, 7A Enterprise. I understand Enterprise is going to have a new quarterback this year as well.
But one thing too, if you're going to the game tomorrow, I wanted to mention this. Enterprise, I can tell you a few years when I did the Dothan games. Okay, early in the season when the sun doesn't go down till after 7 o'clock, the way Enterprise is designed, they're actually looking into the sun from the home side. We'll be set up on the visitor side. They put everybody on the visitor side. There'll be a lot of Enterprise people that are sitting on the Eufaula side just so they're not looking into the sun. So if you go and get there a little early, get you a seat and be prepared to listen to somebody pulling for the other side next to you. Also, real quick, a couple of folks have asked me about if Stanhope Elmore had a new stadium this year. They're building a whole new sportsplex. I talked to Jarrell about it, who just walked in the door, so we're glad he's here. It's not this year. They'll have it next year. I don't know if they'll be on our schedule. That's a question for Jarrell, but other than that, there's some very interesting games is going to be circled on our schedule, not necessarily from our side, but the other folks coming in. So
no doubt about it. Tough schedule. So we're going to take another commercial break. When we come back, we'll have Coach Jarrell Jernigan joining us on the Chick-fil-A of Eufaula Coaches Show. We'll be back in a moment.
Hey, Tiger fans. Daniel Pulley here, your local Chick-fil-A Eufaula owner-operator. We are so excited to be the official sponsor of the weekly Eufaula Tiger Coaches Show for the 2022 football season. Join us for the live show at Chick-fil-A Eufaula every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Our incredible team is ready to serve you. And don't forget, eat more chicken.
Precision Body Works is a state-of-the-art collision facility dedicated to providing customers with outstanding service and a quality repair experience. We have been serving Eufaula and the surrounding areas for over 20 years and have earned a reputation as being a premier collision repair center. Precision Body Works uses environmentally friendly PPG water-based paint and also offers 24-hour record service as well as top-of-the-line accessories from such brands as Cam Locker, Ranch Hand, Retrax, Weston, and WeatherTech. We are located at 1210 North Eufaula Avenue or call us at 334-687-47.
Somebody cannot come to us, we go to them. It's something that we do on a regular basis, something we don't mind doing, and we work on a contingency basis.
No one has to pay us any money up front.
They do not have to pay us unless we collect for them, unless we are successful in resolving their case through a settlement or through trial.
They don't have to pay us any money unless we get favorable results for them. If you're hurt in a car wreck, call Penn and Seaborn. It won't cost you anything to see if we can help.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Easy Metal Building Kits, pole barns, and metal roofing supplies. APEC Metal Express carries multiple kit sizes and colors with at-home DIY instruction. APEC Metal Express. Fast delivery, superior quality, excellent customer service.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
Okay.
And we're back to the Chick-fil-A of Eufaula Coaches Show with Coach Darrell Jernigan. Coach Jernigan, welcome tonight. Busy day, busy week.
Busy.
Yeah, a lot going on. Kicking off the 2023 season. Your second season at the helm here at your alma mater at Eufaula High School. How has the second preparation for the season gone compared to last year?
Well, it's been pretty good. I'll say it's been great since I had no turnover in coaches, so I still got my same coaching staff from last year, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much this time last year I didn't have my whole coaching staff together. I was scrambling around trying to get my coaching staff, but now got everybody back from last year, so that's always a good thing when you don't have any turnover with coaches.
That's great. Yeah, that took care of one of the questions I had on here was coaches. Do we have any coaching changes? So any reassignments within the staff, or is everybody pretty much so handling the same things they did last year?
No, everybody handling the same thing they did last year, and that's really good because they know the kids they had last year and then the ones that came back. So that's really good.
That's great. Before we go any further, I want to pause on that, and I want to address the tickets. There's been many comments on where can they get tickets. Is it GoFan again this year, or what is the situation on that?
Yes, we're still doing GoFan. We're doing GoFan this year. We strongly encourage everybody to use GoFan, but for the ones that don't have smartphones or whatever the case may be, we're taking money at the gate this year.
Okay, for home games, all four home games in regular season, and then what about on the road? Do we know what the situation is tomorrow night with Enterprise? Can they walk up to a ticket window in Enterprise, or have they got to purchase their tickets on GoFan? Do you know?
On GoFan.
Okay.
On GoFan at Enterprise right now. So on GoFan until I hear otherwise, and I haven't heard otherwise, so it's on GoFan.
Okay. Well, that's great. So when did practice for the fall start? I mean, I know I ran into you one time, and I thought we'd already started, but we were just starting that day. So I didn't know. It was news to me. A lot of people at home maybe not know either. Explain how that works as far as if you have a spring practice, when the start date is.
Well, if you have spring in a spring game, you can't start that week early. And so we had a spring. We played Booker T. Washington there for the spring game. So we couldn't start that week early. So a lot of guys started that week before, and we had to wait that week.
Okay, so what was the actual day of the first fall practice?
I can't remember it.
But I mean, it was not the 1st of August, because it always was like August 1st you start.
But they pushed back the season this year.
Okay.
So that was the whole idea with that.
Okay. So the season starting on August 25th is later than
they bumped it up.
Okay.
Normally we're starting the week later, but they bumped it up this year.
Okay. So how long have y'all been practicing?
We had 2 weeks of fall camp.
Okay.
2 weeks of fall camp, and we started off in the summer. So we went to summer. We couldn't start that week early like other teams. Just say, for example, Russell County, they didn't have a spring, so they started a week earlier than us.
Okay.
And so everyone had 2 weeks of fall camp.
Okay, I got you. Did Enterprise have a spring game, or they practicing the same length of time as us?
Yeah, they play at the same time as us.
Okay. And since we're doing, well, I want to come to Enterprise in just a moment, but the heat, this excessive heat, we're all week this week we've been under heat advisories. What are y'all doing to deal with that kind of stuff?
Let me ask this, because I was just fixing to ask that. We went over that at Media Days this year. The state actually requires y'all to have coolers and ice and stuff like that available at practice and stuff like that. Do they not?
Correct. We always had that.
Yeah,
so that hasn't changed for us.
Cool something. I forgot what they said it was, but we get asked a lot about the heat. So yeah.
Yeah. So that's always a requirement. So that's nothing new for us, having coolers in, stations at practice. Our trainer, Carla Mayo, she do a great job with that. We just incorporated on in our practice a cool down period where actually all the coaches get everybody off the field. We take them in the visitor locker room and AC cool down, hand them popsicles, water. And probably like 10, 15 minutes, we in there, we cool down, and then we go back at it out on the field. And then they can get water at any time.
Okay, well, good. That's not the way it always has been. It's amazing to me that going back to when these guys and me played, when you had to keep your helmet on, you couldn't take your helmet off. You could only get water when the coach told you could get water.
Yeah.
And somehow everybody made it. I don't know. I don't understand. But anyway, but kind of going back, we talked about the heat, the conditioning, and all that. We mentioned this before you got here. First road game, the first 2 games are on the road, so there's some challenges opening up on the road. If somebody leaves something, you can't just run back in the locker room and get it. Do we have I know you said you have a trainer that deals with the health situations. What about an equipment manager that is charged with making sure everybody has what they need to get to the Enterprise game?
That's kind of all our coaches. We kind of do it by position, make sure everybody have everything. We go over a checklist before we leave. Before we pack everything up. And Coach Mayo, my O-line coach, he do a great job. He pretty much handle all the equipment stuff and all that. And he always do a great job of packing what we call the 12th man. We take a 12th man with us in case any kids, they're kids we're dealing with, in case any kids leave cleats, pants, shoulder pads, helmets, thigh pads, knee pads. We have extra stuff like that that's on our box truck.
So the individual player is still packing his own bag
Correct.
of equipment to go. Okay.
They're
I
packing
didn't
their
know.
stuff, and every coach have their own position. We have a checklist. They go to their coach, check off everything they have, put it on the box truck.
Okay. All right. Before we leave kind of fall camp, let's talk about new starters. One area of particular interest that everybody asks about is who will the starting quarterback be tomorrow night? Is that something you can talk about?
Yeah, that's no secret. Brian Anderson will be the starting quarterback for us. He's been doing a great job of moving from X receiver to quarterback, and he's been doing a good job with that. Still got some learning curves because the position is new to him, but he will be our starting quarterback tomorrow night, leading us out there. And then at the center position is a big help. Nikavian Curry, he transferred in. He's a sophomore. He'll be holding down the center spot right there, and that gave me a good chance to move my center from last year, which was Chris Dutil. He's playing a little guard now.
Okay. So a sophomore center then. Sophomore starting center.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So how many new starters are there on the offensive line?
From last year? Really on the offensive line, we lost one big pack, and then everybody else came back.
So we're only replacing one starting lineman. That was a big one, obviously. Playing at Georgia Tech now. As I traveled, I was out of town today. Everybody wants to ask, well, what's Eufaula looking like this year? And I said, well, I really don't know, but we had 2 big losses, one on the D line and one on the offensive line, and one's at the University of Alabama and one's at Georgia Tech. So, how are the players? Players grow up a lot, especially teenagers, from one year to the next. How are we filling those shoes, I guess? How are we looking to this point?
Offensive line-wise, I think we're doing pretty good, But I tell everybody, like, those 2 players you're not going to replace. So you can forget about saying how you're going to replace those 2. You can't replace 2 good players like that.
Right.
That's just not going to happen. Them generational players right there. So offensive line, I mean, they're doing a great job as a unit, and defensive line also they're doing a great job as a unit. And we just got to work together, you know. And I tell my coaches this all the time. The good thing about it is we have no one to key on. Like, use the defensive line, for example. Last year we went into every game and everybody like, where's 9? Where's 9? I mean, well, this year we don't have that, so they can't just key on one player.
That's right. So they're going to play a little more straight up.
Correct.
And but last year there were some times from casual observance, us watching from the press box, it looked like he drew some triple teams last year.
Oh, ain't no doubt.
Yeah.
Ain't no doubt.
And so that's amazing. And he still was effective. He made a big impact. So looking forward to seeing his career at the next level. That'll be interesting. So talking about moving Anderson from receiver to quarterback, obviously you're losing him at receiver. He was I remember several great catches he made on the outside. He was always dependable hands. So who's stepping up and to take his position?
So replacing him at X, we got 2 that's splitting time. They really have no starter out there at X between Thomas Hill, and then we had another transfer in who actually came to us from Barber County, Ali Quinn. So those 2 splitting time over there at the X position.
Okay. And mentioning transfers in, how many new players do we have on the team this year?
We had 3 transfers in.
Okay.
You know, the center, and then Ali Quinn. Then at DN, we got Kevion Lamons who transferred in from Central.
Okay.
At defensive end.
From Central. Okay. How big is that young man?
He's about 6 foot. He's probably about 200, 215.
Okay. And you mentioned you came from the senior supper. You said there's 17 seniors on the team this year. How many are we going to dress and carry to Enterprise tomorrow night?
Last time I checked, we're going to dress out 70 kids, 9 through 12.
Okay. Well, good deal. We'll step aside, take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little more detail about Enterprise and the schedule for the upcoming season. You're listening to the Chick-fil-A of Eufaula Coaches Show. We'll be back in a moment.
Hey, Tiger fans, Daniel Pulley here, your local Chick-fil-A Eufaula owner-operator. We are so excited to be the official sponsor of the weekly Eufaula Tiger Coaches Show for the 2022 football season. Join us for the live show at Chick-fil-A Eufaula every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Our incredible team is ready to serve you. And don't forget, eat more chicken.
In 1983, the first mobile phone was introduced to the public by the Motorola Company, and that was the same year Pam Freeman started her State Farm business. For 40 years, both have saved time and money. Whether it's auto, homeowners, condo renters, personal articles, business, life, or health, Pam Freeman State Farm has been there for you. Call Pam's office and let Kathy Bennett help you with all your quotes and needs. You won't find a more helpful staff anywhere. Come by and see them at 322 East Barber Street in Eufaula or call 687-7034.
Good call or bad call, officials always have the final say in sports. And at Alpha Insurance, we know it's important for you to have the final say on the insurance plan we build for you. You'll have peace of mind knowing we will work hard to get you the lowest rates and best discounts available. Alpha Insurance, always a good call. In Eufaula, call Alpha Agent Keith Bryan at 334-687-8268 or stop by our office at 1326A South Eufaula Avenue.
At Mid-South Bank, we pride ourselves on being the friendliest and most helpful bank in town. For over 100 years, we've been helping families prosper and helping businesses grow. Mid-South Bank is a local bank with local people making local decisions. We're a community bank who will always be there when you need us. Whatever banking services you need, we're here to help. Visit us today or online at bankmidsouth.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
With the world changing all around us, everyone needs to be covered by insurance. So give Eric Glover with the Glover Agency a call and talk with Eric about auto, home, life, or last week's football game. Whatever your insurance needs, let Eric talk to you about being covered. The Glover Agency is located at 145 East Broad Street, Eufaula, Alabama. Call 334-687-0358.
When it's football time, we at First Franklin Financial are big fans of our local teams, just like you. We've been part of the community for over 75 years, and when you need money for repairs or emergencies, we'll help you play offense. We offer fixed-rate loans up to $15,000 with easy payment plans and fast approvals. Visit 1ffc.com to find the location near you. Legal, all loan terms and applicable APRs depend on meeting our underwriting and income criteria for the loan size requested and may require collateral. Georgia Residential Mortgage License number 5656.
Attention contractors, is your metal roofing provider slowing you down? APEC Metal Express fills orders within a week. 40-year finish warranty, 17 different colors, and multiple truss styles. Work more and wait less.
At Mid-South Bank, we pride ourselves on being the friendliest and most helpful bank in town. For over 100 years, we've been helping families prosper and helping businesses grow. Mid-South Bank is a local bank with local people making local decisions. We're a community bank who will always be there when you need us. Whatever banking services you need, we're here to help. Visit us today or online at bankmidsouth.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
With Coach Jarrell Jernigan. Coach, it all becomes real tomorrow. Kickoff 7 o'clock at the new Bill Bacon Field in Enterprise, and the first of two 7A opponents on the schedule for Eufaula this year. We didn't really talk about the schedule much, but two 7A, two 6A, and of course Early County is always good coming to Eufaula. So tough out of region schedule this year. I don't know who made that schedule, but they say if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, right? So
correct.
So yeah, but a big test tomorrow, and then of course on the road to Stanhope Elmore. But let's talk about Enterprise first. What can we expect out of Enterprise? That was one of the questions that came in from a listener. You know, offensively, I understand they're breaking in a new quarterback just like we are, but were you able to see any spring film or anything like that on them?
Well, for the most part, being Blackman team, you know, me and him pretty close to each other. It's gonna be a well-coached team. You know, he's a great coach, a well-coached the way he coaches players and all that. So they run a little bit of the spread, you know, and try to run the ball on you. They got a big running back there. And, he's committed to Indiana.
Okay.
So he's not really that fast, but he runs very hard back there. So up front defense, we got to be ready for that. But they spread you out, you know, try to throw it around a little bit. But I think the biggest thing, they're going to try to run it on us.
Okay. So size-wise, looking back at Eufaula on both sides of the line of scrimmage, I know young line last year, 4 guys back. We lost a lot of size with Big Pat leaving. How are we size-wise compared to where we were last year on the line of scrimmage?
Of course, when you lose Big Pat, you mean you lose a lot of size, right?
Oh, no doubt. But I mean, and you mentioned that we're going to have a sophomore taking over at center, and we're moving last year's center to guard. So that's where.
Yeah, I don't think size will be a factor for us. I think we'll be A-okay with that. My biggest thing is I want to see him move, you know, get in front of people, block people, and run a fast-paced offense. So from what I've seen this fall camp, I think we'll be good at that.
Well, that's great. And one thing, if I got through this and didn't mention this, I've had other people ask me, are we going to fill punts this year?
Yeah, of course. You know, last year it was just you don't want to risk it back there. I mean, we had 4 people back there muffing punt, so it was my decision, not anybody else, just to get away from and get us the ball back.
No doubt about it, and I understand completely. But it was just like it was a curse last year. It was. I've never seen anything like it, and you probably haven't either.
I seen them like it. Everybody think it's easy, but
for a whole season though.
Oh yes. I seen that at the highest level. Everybody think it's easy, but get back there and see that ball hanging up there. Ain't easy that everybody think it is.
Right. Well, if you're trying to return it, certainly when people are bearing down on you, trying to figure out where you're going to go, it just takes that long to take your eye off the ball.
Well, the big thing is judging off the punter's foot. That's the big thing. But when you got like a lefty, it's come off his foot different than a righty. So you got to watch the ball, the way it spins. So, I mean, all that come into factor with that. So,
yeah, we shouldn't even brought that up. But anyway, this is a new year, new year, a new day. So, but Enterprise, we talked about offensively. Understand they've got a 5-star recruit on the other side of the ball.
Well, yeah, they got a safety, a junior safety, who's pretty good. Not pretty good. He's really good. You know, he's a 5-star, got all the offers you want, over 20-some offers. So, I mean, we got to know he's at all times. And, I mean, yeah, just know where he's at. And he likes to come down, great player. So we got to, you know, figure something out with him.
Right. So, so it's always tough when you go up and you play above your classification. We had another question come in. Let me just see it real quick. So who will be returning like kickoffs or whatever? We've got a new thing going on this year. You may or may not know about it, but Mid-South Banks is sponsoring a giveaway. If we return the opening kickoff of the first half or the opening kickoff of the second half, whichever half we receive, there's going to be a drawing for $100. So everyone that's listening may be interested. Who's going to be returning those kickoffs?
I mean, I got more than one guy. I got Tony Coleman. He'll be back there. You got Zakai Steele. He'll be back there. You got Aurelia Slaughter. He'll be back there. You got Marquez Harris. So I don't have a starter back there. It's just my gut feeling, who I feel putting back there. So I put him back there, and we go with that. So
and the deep guy doesn't always get the kickoff now. Playing these larger classification schools, to me, it seems like one of the big differences, other than the number of guys they dress out, is the specialist. It seems like they always have a good kicker. They normally, a lot of times, they'll kick it in the end zone. You don't have a chance to return it. So, but they're going to kick it deep enough. Your deep guy, unless they pooch it, is going to have a chance to return the ball majority of the time.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, unless they kick it in the back of the end zone every time, they won't have a chance. But I got good confidence in my returns that we got back there. And but I say this, it takes a whole unit to return a kick.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Because it's just not him back there running the ball. It takes the front line, second line, and the up backs up there to get their blocks, their key blocks to break it.
Well, it takes all 11 pretty much any time. I mean, quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, they wouldn't do anything without the offensive line. Well, that's great. So talk about tomorrow a little bit. What time will the team pull out, headed to Enterprise? What kind of schedule are you going to be running for? It's only, about an hour or so down to Enterprise, I guess, from here.
Yeah, probably just give it 2 hours on a bus. You know, so we'll probably leave here. Ain't no problem. We'll leave here about 1:30. We go down to Dothan, eat in Dothan. Then we'll leave Dothan, and then ease on down to Enterprise, get there, get settled in, get everything set up and stuff, and pregame. Kick it off at 6 with pregame, and then go on into the game around 7.
Okay, well, good. The real quick, talk about the schedule and our region in particular. Headland was their first year in 5A last year. They played very well. Most of those guys that were impactful in our game are back. So have you looked at the region that much? I know you can't look ahead, but you've got Headland. Our first two home games at Headland and Greenville. Greenville, I guess, is the coach back in Greenville, or do they have a new coach this year?
They have a new coach.
I thought they did. So we don't know exactly what to expect from that. And then, of course, the next 3, we have 2 home region games and then 3 on the road, which is tough. The last 3 we finished on the road with Carroll, Charles Henderson, and Rehoboth. Charles Henderson being the defending 5A runner-up, and they've got almost everyone back, don't they?
No, I wouldn't say everyone. No, they lost some key players last year.
Did they?
They got one of their best players back in Jawan Board, but they lost some key players.
Did they? Okay. Well, one game at a time, and the first one starts tomorrow night in Enterprise. Anything else you'd like to share with the fans before kickoff?
Basically, we like to encourage everybody to come out. We need a big crowd out there tomorrow. You know, travel well, come down to Enterprise and cheer us on. These boys have been working extremely hard from the spring, this summer, out in all this hot weather and this heat. So we just expecting a big crowd. We wearing all white tomorrow, so we encourage everybody to have on their white shirts, white Eufaula shirts. And you can go online. We got a store up now through BSN throughout the year. It's called a pop-up store. You can go buy whatever you want. They ship it to you automatically. You don't have to wait until it closes like the one we had last year. So you can go online, order what you want, it'll ship it to you. You'll get it within 3 or 4 days.
So what is the web address? Where will they find the store?
You can go to our high school page, Facebook page, and it's on there. Or you can get in touch with me, and I'll put it out on our Facebook page.
So the Eufaula Tiger football Facebook page, I can find a link to that from there?
Yes, we'll have it up there, yes.
Okay, great. So a lot of people will be interested in seeing that. Of course, you're not going to have to twist people's arm to wear white tomorrow, as hot as it is. Be a little cooler. One last thing before we go, injuries. That's an unfortunate thing you should deal with. How are we health-wise going into the first game? Anyone that going to be held out due to injuries?
Yes. Adrian Goldsmith, he won't dress out tomorrow. He recently had surgery about 2 weeks ago. He tore his meniscus, so he won't be dressing out. We expect to have him back 3rd game of the year.
Okay. And I said one more final thing. We talked about early on when we first came on, Doug and Charles made it up to media days last week, and there's been some rule changes in high school football this year. Talk briefly about that before we go, about the rules changes as you understand them.
Which one is?
Well, we understand holding is going to be from the line of scrimmage now instead of being a spot foul. That's a good thing. That'll be fairly enforced for everybody. It's not objective anymore. But they talked about hitting below the waist on the quarterback, I think, and then some type of unnecessary roughness on. They're going further.
Defenseless receivers.
Yeah, defenseless receivers. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much they just trickle down from the NFL in the college game. You know, you can't just go out and lay a receiver out when he's not looking or anything. And then the rule about the quarterback, it's always been below the waist. I want to say.
Well, below the knee.
Below the knees. Yeah. Now it's kind of like basically they don't want you going and just diving at the quarterback knees. It's a rule to protect the quarterback back there when their defense was just standing up there.
So is it the same, or did they raise it to like below the waist?
They probably raised it below the waist, but that don't affect us really. I mean, because a lot of time you really don't see quarterbacks getting hit like below the knees like that. I mean, from time to time you do, but like in high school ball, I don't think it'll be a big deal in high school ball.
Well, let me ask you this. I know on the other levels you're talking about trickling down, but I know on the other levels if you launch at above the shoulder, it's a penalty also because it's unnecessary roughness. It's hitting helmet. So the quarterback you can hit them from here to here. So yeah. I'm just asking because it just seems like
I don't like. Yeah, you're right. I don't really get into all that. I'm old school.
I understand.
So I don't really get into all that.
We'll just have to see how they enforce it. I mean,
I think it'd be fine. Me personally, I think it'd be okay because we really don't see a lot in high school ball like that because 9 times out of 10 the quarterback getting out of the pocket.
Right. And running. And when he gets out of the pocket and becomes a runner, all of that, I suppose they're protecting him while he's inside the tackle box. So, yeah. Okay. Well, great. Well, Coach, we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule tonight, coming straight from the senior dinner to join us here. And I'm sure everyone who's sitting at home watching this appreciates it as well. And we look forward to a great year. We wish you all the best, and we hope to bring home a big Tiger victory tomorrow night.
All right, thank you for having me.
All right, Coach. Good luck, and we'll see you tomorrow night in Enterprise. For Doug Appling, Charles Irvin, John Wayne Robinson, Coach Jarrell Jurgen, I'm Keith Brown. Wishing you a good night. We appreciate you joining us. We'll be with you right here next Thursday night from Chick-fil-A. We appreciate Daniel Pulley opening up the doors for us, but that'll do it for the Chick-fil-A of Eufaula Coaches Show for tonight. We'll be with you tomorrow night, 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff from Enterprise, Alabama. Have a good night.
Hey, Tiger fans, Daniel Pulley here, your local Chick-fil-A Eufaula owner-operator. We are so excited to be the official sponsor of the weekly Eufaula Tiger Coaches Show for the 2022 football season. Join us for the live show at Chick-fil-A Eufaula every Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Our incredible team is ready to serve you. And don't forget, eat more chicken.